Good morning, my name is Tapia Gallo, and I would like to present my final project, Higuer's Garage web-based app for my Higuer Diploma in Science Computing at CCT. In this presentation, I would like to talk about the requirements and objectives of the project, the research of the technologies, the system analysis and design, the implementation of the whole system, the testing and evaluation process, and a demonstration of the web app. The requirements are to build a system that allows an administrator of a garage to manage bookings, staff, services, and customers. In specific, allows customer to make bookings, allows administrator to allocate a mechanic for each booking, add prices, add extra services, print invoices, and manage schedules of the staff. The solution presented was build a fully worked web-based application that meets all the requirements and also be applicable to other business. The strategy used in relation with the planning methodology was the waterfall system, because that model makes me complete the project in this short time. Thanks to tools like Google Scholar and EBSCO, the research was complete with academic relevant information. The main topics were React.js, Bootstrap, and Fetch API for the front end, Java, Spring Boot, Model View Controller, JSON Web Token at the back end, and for the database, MySQL and MySQL Workbench. To fulfill the functional requirement, it was necessary to divide the system into subsystems. For that, some use cases were made to illustrate the interaction between users and the system. And in order to visualize the views of the website, it was used wireframes to represent the structure of the website. And also about the database design, it was made the conceptual, the logical, and the physical model, keeping in mind the requirements all the time. For the functional design also was represented using some diagrams illustrating the customer function, admin function, and the architecture of the system. To implement the system, first it was built the database using MySQL Workbench. Workbench allowed me to create the schema and tables directly from the physical design. With the same tool, the MySQL connection was created to later connect with the backend. To start with the construction of the backend, a Gradle project was initiated in Spring Start website, adding the Spring Web dependency. Then, the structure of the project was made using different packages to organize the code. Controllers, models, and repositories were built to give functionality to the project. It was necessary to add some dependencies, such as JSON Web Token and the Spring Data JPA dependency. To manage the interaction with the database, it was chosen use JPA library, which made me create entity object for each table. To build the front end, it was chosen to use React.js. For that, it was mandatory to have Node.js installed before starting the React project. In React are used components to build applications. There are two types, which are function components and class components. Both were used to build this app. To give a stylish design to the app, it was used React Bootstrap components like buttons, carousels, forms, and other components. To navigate between the different components, React implements the father-child structure that is managed by the routes component. To let the interaction between the web app and the API, it was employed the fetch API that used HTTP requests for that. In a parallel way, during the construction process, it was made also the testing process. MySQL Workbench, Postman, and the browser console were the tools to carry out the testing stage. Several tests were applied to check the subsystems. For example, check the system access, check the process, the booking service, the home admin views, displaying the data, adding and editing services, staff member, and bookings. Now I will show the home page of the public website. To the construction of the site were used React Bootstrap components such as navbar in the superior part of the web as a menu, a banner carousel in the center, and some buttons with a classic design. Later on, it was created a component to show the services and a description of each one. There is a component called About Us to explain the essence of the business, like the mission and vision, and this is useful to give more credibility to the product. Besides that, there is a simple contact form. To make a booking, the first time is necessary to make a registration. For that, the client has to fill a form. All the information is required. If one of fields is missed, the system will show a message depending on that field. The next step is to do the login. If the credentials are wrong or the user is not registered, the system will show a message depending on that error. Making the booking, the user should fill some fields, such as a license plate, a vehicle type, brand, model, year, engine, a type of booking, and adding some comments but are not necessary. Then has to pick a date, but the Sunday are blocked. Now the booking is created. It is possible to see in the front-end code the structure of the project. There are different components. You can see also the date picker component that should be imported to choose allows us choose a date. Also, you can see the index where the component routers are and which route all the component with the specific path. There are some dynamic path and other static path. At the bottom of the site we have the access admin. You must enter all the credentials as administrator. There is an admin previously stored in the database. The home admin shows the list of bookings with all the information. Also there is a list of invoices, services, and a staff list. If you want to add a new member, you must fill a form
and enter all the fields to store the data in the database. And there you can find the new member. Also, you can edit the information of that member, and you can change and edit the information. You can see the change in that part. The same is with the services. You can add a new service, fill in a form with a name, a description, and a cost. And also we can edit with the link edit and change some field and update the information. Unfortunately, on a matter of time, invoices function like add and edit are not finishing in the front end. The path is created, but the component is not created. In the booking case, is it possible to edit the status and allocate a staff member? If you follow the edit link, you can change the status of the booking and allocate a mechanic, and also when a booking is created by the customer, the mechanic is empty, so you can add later a mechanic. There are some functions to implement concerning to prices, adding prices and adding services to the booking. It's necessary to implement some functions that are created in the backend, such the invoice functions. Other pending task is the implementation in a better way of JPA. It could be used better and don't do the relation between the tables manually like I did it. About React, it's necessary to use sessions. I was working in that. I learned about that, and I need to use context and create context to do it. Following the presentation, digital marketing was an extra point to be observed in this project. Google Ads allows us to give visualization to our website. Searching for keywords inside our code. So it's necessary to include that keyword inside the code. Also, it's necessary to link to the social media, for example, Instagram or Facebook, the most important. In Google Ads, I make a research about about keywords respecting or concerning to a garage business. My recommendation has always been is use these tools to increase the economic benefit for the business.
This project has been challenging but enjoyable at the same time. I have used all the tools and knowledge learned during the past year, but I am still expecting to improve the project and complete it with more time. Thanks for this opportunity to grow as a professional in the IT area.